Hey, so I've been back in America for about at least a week. I think a week and 4 days. I got back the 28th of October, so I was only there from the 23rd. Then I got on my flight to back to America on that Friday. So I was only there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So in my previous video, I had talked about my initial experiences with England. It was right after I basically got there. I worked a day, and then I worked another day, and then I was able to talk about it. I would have talked the first day, but I was extremely tired because I didn't sleep on the plane. And I had been up for like 24 hours, more than that probably. And, well, I wanted to actually tour around England some more. Actually go visit things that they have in Birmingham, whatever that may have been. Checked out some more specific restaurants. That never really came to pass. Partially because I didn't really want to do anything. I just wanted to stay in my hotel and sleep or watch shows and other YouTubers that I like to watch and need to catch up on. So I'm not necessarily the kind of person that actually goes out and just goes by themselves to all these different places. And while there was a coworker, I don't particularly care for my coworkers, and I don't want to like be friends with them if that makes any sense. So what I ended up doing, uh, I wanted to walk around Birmingham because of Pokemon Go. Actually, it was the Halloween event, and I figured that'd be a good way to catch a whole bunch. But I was able to catch some during the drive to work, whenever. So I really should have. I think that would have been nice. I didn't really particularly care to do anything. So on the Wednesday and Thursday, I actually went out to eat with my coworker. He and we went to a burger place at first, and then we went to the next day we went to a pizza place. So we didn't even really look at any kind of like specific British culture food. Curry, I guess, is now a British food, so we didn't even try that, which he would have. He was there for another week. I was there for such a short time, so he got to enjoy more, and he's been there before. So the weird thing when we went to the uh, burger place the first time is that apparently they eat a lot later in Europe. I didn't really know this, but they were eating a lot later. We had been walking around trying to find a good place to eat the first day, and no one was in any of the restaurants. But it was like 6:30 or 7, which if you go to any kind of restaurant, usually around here they're usually full of people, or at least have some people. They're like this tapas bar. Uh, it's like a Spanish appetizer thing. Like you basically just eat small meals of like appetizers. They're cool tapas, and it looked really cool. Had nice lighting. Had like a nice bar. Had like a nice outside. No one in there apart from like the bartender and then like a waiter slash hostess or host. And that's what my coworker was saying. That all our other coworkers had told him that everyone eats at like 8 or 9 in Europe, which he and I both think are really weird because I eat almost immediately when I get home from work. When Sarah and I come home, usually we like to eat at around 5:30, and like anything after that because we're just starving. Especially Sarah, I could eat whatever and probably go a while, but she ends up being pretty hungry, so we just eat when we get home. And then I think that makes you hungry when you get home anyway at that time because your body's used to eating at that time and it's expecting it. So to me, that's weird to eat like at 8 or 9 for dinner. Sometimes my parents do like 7:30 or sometimes even 8, and I think that's so weird. Um, so yeah, we didn't really have to wait at all in the restaurants. It was a Wednesday, so there's also that part where people aren't really eating out because it's Wednesday. Generally people eat out more on weekends, but I still felt it was a lot less than anyone would ever be in America. So we ate at the burger place. It was good, whatever. Um, and the pizza place was weird. I also didn't know this. Is apparently it's a very European thing to ask specifically for the check. Like you have to call them over and say, hey, we want our check. And the pizza place was weird because it had on its menu, and it would say like this pizza has cheese, pepperoni, and then tomato. Not tomato sauce, but we just say tomato. And I believe, what they want to do is tomato does mean tomato sauce. And there was one pizza, and it said had tomato and then fresh tomato, which to me, I think fresh tomato means that they actually put cut tomatoes onto the pizza, which is weird now that I think about it. So I made a fool of myself because I didn't know if they meant like actual tomatoes. And I was like, oh, can I have it without the tomatoes? Because I don't want tomatoes on my pizza. And they're like, oh, you don't want the sauce? And no, you guys need to specify more. And I get it. Like, if you have a pizza with a different sauce, like pesto, then yeah, you should have that. Say, like pesto or tomato sauce. But you should at least put sauce. Because I think default it's tomato. But maybe England's a lot different and more multicultural like that. But I really don't know. But the pizza was fine. It was Pizza Express, if anyone in England knows about that place, if it's any good or not. So then on Friday, I had to wake up really early, like 5 or 4. It was 5. And then I took a taxi to the airport and got a breakfast and waited a bit. I had to go through security at England, and then I had to go through security again when I landed in America, which was annoying. And customs. Customs wasn't fun. So the flight to Newark, New Jersey was annoying because I was worried I was getting on the wrong plane, because it's really hard when people aren't really enunciating Newark. And it makes you think, oh, are they saying New York or Newark? And then that flight was just boring. Like most of them. I watched more movies, watched some DC and Marvel movies, whatever. And then we landed in Newark, and my plane was delayed like an hour, I think. 45 to an hour. I think I was supposed to board at like 4:30 and actually ended up leaving at 5:30. So like 45 minutes for boarding and then some time to actually taxi and take off. So I didn't get home until like 8:30 because I got to Detroit at like 7:30 and had to drive. After that point, though, I was excited to be home, basically. Driving on the right side of the road, which is, why I think is correct. Oh, man. So, Newark is an annoying airport. I had to check my bags. I had to go through customs, which I'd never done. Because American customs were a lot more hardcore than they went through English customs. And I actually had stuff to declare. I had to be like, oh, they gave me a book. And they gave me course notes over the book for my training. So that was weird. I felt like they were going to... I don't know. I just always feel worried when we do things for the first time. Like, I feel like you did everything wrong. And they were going to arrest me and question me and everything. But the guy was really chill. And then I wait for my luggage, check it in again, have it be sent to Detroit. Have to go to a different terminal and everything. And then they didn't even have Wi-Fi or anything. Or at least they didn't have free Wi-Fi like they did when the first time I went to Newark. They had free Wi-Fi the first time, unlimited. And then they had, the second time, when I was coming back home, they had free internet for half an hour, which isn't anything. And at that point, since the month was almost over and I haven't even used half my data, I ended up just using data for the rest of the time. So Newark Airport, bad. I'm not going to pay $5 for internet access. Sorry. So, boo. But apart from that, everything was pretty good. I wouldn't go again. I don't really particularly like traveling because I just feel worried that I forgot everything everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I have my passport, my laptop, my other laptop, my work badge, my books, stuff like that. And every airport, even during the flight, I'd be like, where's this thing at? Where's this thing at? Do I have my charger? Oh no, where's that piece of paper I need to carry? So that's what I hate, the constant worry that I forgot something minor that I need to do. So I don't particularly like traveling. I don't like being apart, and I don't like the worry and the anxiety. I think it'd be better if I went again because I know what to expect now, but I still don't like it. I'm not going to say, hey, can you please send me to the British office again? Because I don't want to go, Anyway, I do recommend, so I suppose, someone to go to a different country. You know, I do recommend that, and trying new things. Maybe I'm not the kind of person to actually do them without like a guide. I don't want to do them alone, I guess, is the thing. You know, I think England would have been a lot more fun if Sarah could have come with me. I would have liked it more, but I don't think work would appreciate me taking a spouse. Some people do that, and it's weird. They don't always approve that. So, anyway, I hope this has kind of encouraged someone to at least try to go somewhere new. You know, England, at least they all spoke the same language, so that's good. But, you know, go see the world, you know. I think Mark Twain said travel is the best cure for a bigoted mind or something like that. Anyway, bye.